You guys ready?
Township of Edison Zoning Board of Adjustment regular meeting of June 20th, 2023 is now in session. Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975 has been provided by the annual notice published in the Home News and Tribune on January 14th, 2023, and has been posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex on January 3rd, 2023. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Mrs. Shaw?
Here.
Mr. Ayotte?
Here.
Mr. Chabra?
Here.
Mr. Cerrito?
Here.
Ms. Hernandez-Prince?
Here.
Mr. Barone?
Here.
Mr. DeVay?
Here.
Mr. Sadaha?
Here.
Vice Chair O'Gorman?
Here.
Chairman Kumba?
Here. Thank you. Madam Secretary, minutes for consideration.
We have May 30th minutes for consideration.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, seconded by Mr. Sadata. Roll call, please.
Mr. Chabra?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Barone?
Yes to the motion.
Ms. Hernandez-Prince?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. DeVay?
Yes, please.
Mr. Sadaha?
Yes, sir.
Vice Chair O'Gorman?
Yes.
And Chairman Kumba?
Yes. Madam Secretary, do we have any resolutions to be adopted?
We do not.
Okay, perfect. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a regular meeting of the Township of Edison Zoning Board of Adjustment. The board is composed of Edison Township residents appointed by the Municipal Council who volunteer their time and service to the board. The municipal land use law requires that members successfully complete a land use training course administered by the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. This board holds in-house training conducted by our board professionals. The zoning board abides by the provisions of the municipal land use law in addition to our board's bylaws. The zoning board is a quasi-judicial land use board, which differs from the township planning board. Under the municipal land use law, board members are required to be impartial and are not allowed to discuss any case prior to its consideration before the board at a hearing. All applicants will have the opportunity to present their case before the board, with the opportunity for board members and board professionals to question the applicant and their witnesses. At the conclusion of the applicant's presentation of their case, the case will be open to the public. Residents within 200 feet of the subject property will be heard, followed by residents from outside of 200 feet. All residents will be sworn in. They'll provide their name and address, and they will be given 6 minutes to comment on the applications being considered, without the opportunity for a rebuttal. Residents may ask questions of the applicant's professionals, and board professionals. The board requests that these questions are asked prior to any comments being made on the application. Once commentary begins, the resident's timer will begin. The applicant would be allowed the opportunity for cross-examination of their witnesses. Under the law, the chair is allowed to stop any comment that is repetitive or is an attempt to filibuster the board. Further, the chair is allowed to stop any commentary that is irrelevant to the case or prohibited from the board's consideration. Once the public portion is closed, all public comment is ended unless new testimony is presented by the applicant. Following the closure of the public portion, the applicant will have the right of summation on their application. Following summation, the case will go to the board for a decision. This procedure has been followed by this board and is similar to the procedures followed by boards of adjustment statewide. Municipal land use law requires the board to engage in a balancing act. It is not required to strictly apply township ordinances, zoning plan, or master plan. As a board of adjustment, variances are granted when appropriately necessary, following all legal considerations. As has been the case with prior boards, the board will see where we are at if we are in session around 10:30 p.m. I don't see that being an issue for this evening. I ask that all applicants, professionals, and residents show respect to each other and be civil throughout all proceedings. I ask that you withhold applause, booing, or interrupting of anyone while they are speaking. One announcement, case number 3 on the agenda, case Z24, 2022, Old Post Realty LLC at 604 and 610 Old Post Road has been carried to September 19th, 2023, with no renotice required. If you are here for that case or you're watching on TV, it will not be heard this evening and will be carried to September 19th with no renotice required. That being said, Madam Secretary, first case on the agenda, please.
Case number 1 is Z11, 2023, Amish Seth at 93 Stratford Circle, Section 37.63-1, 7, 10, and 16. Applicant is seeking bulk and use variances to construct an addition to an existing single-family home. The following standards have not been met. Rear yard setback required is 30 feet. Proposed is 22.27 feet. Max building coverage required is 20%. Proposed is 21%. Max FAR permitted is 37%, proposed is 39%. Affected property is located in the RBB zone designated as block number 459.3, lot 42 on the Edison Township tax map. All noticing paperwork is in order.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Shire.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Bernard Shire with the firm of Convery and Shire, representing Amish Seth, the owner applicant, regarding property at 93 Stratford Circle, also known as Block 459.3, Lot 42 in the RBB zone. Mr. Seth needs some additional living space and has had an architect design some addition to the home, which will require some variances. The floor area ratio is permitted to be 37%. It is proposed to be 39%. The maximum building coverage is limited to 20%. He is at 21%. And the rear yard setback is to be 30 feet, and he is proposing 22.27 feet. Mr. Seth needs some additional living space, and what he is doing is extending the dining area and also the second floor bedroom area. So unless there are any preliminary questions, I have Mr. Seth here to explain why he needs to do this, and his architect and planner, Frank Miletto, to explain why the board should grant these variances.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Shire prior to proceeding? Without objection.
Well, Mr. Seth?
Mr. Seth, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I swear.
And just state your full name for the record.
Amish Seth. Good evening, everyone. The reason I'm extending is I have been in the same house for the last 15 years. I had two small boys at the time. Now they have grown up. One of them is going to medical school, and he has friends as well as a girlfriend. So the two bedrooms that we have for the boys are relatively small. These houses were built in 1980s when houses used to be small. This is how I grew up as well. So there's an empty space on the roof besides two bedrooms. So we thought if we extend it, we don't have to move anywhere. It's a beautiful neighborhood. And seeing a lot of similar changes in the neighborhood as well. The dining space is pretty small. It's only 13 feet wide, the current one, and I don't remember how long it is, but you can't fit more than 8 or 9 people there. So even if one family comes, we don't have a space there. So we thought we can just move it back by 9 feet, and that's what is causing the variance. So really two additions, empty space on the roof, extending the two bedrooms so that it goes till the end of the roof, just over the current roof, and the dining space moving back by another 9 feet.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Seth? Okay, seeing none.
I call Frank Miletto.
You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God.
Okay, and just state your full name for the record, please.
My name is Frank, middle initial D, Miletto. My residence office is at 14 Beaverbrook Drive, Long Valley, New Jersey. I've been an architect since 1974. and a planner since 1976. I've appeared before this board at that last meeting, and I continuously maintain my licenses in good stead.
So you answered my question. I appreciate that. We'll accept you. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mileto, you were hired by Mr. Seth to prepare the plans for the renovation of his home,
Yes.
and he explained to you what he needed and why.
Yes.
All right, could you please briefly explain to the board exactly what is being done from an architectural standpoint?
Mr. Mileto, before you start, if you could just bring the microphone closer to you just so that we can make sure that it carries onto the feed. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Two minor alteration and additions to the first one on the first floor dining room, which was woefully small for even one small dining room table and chair. It's we didn't design the original house, so I can't take the blame for that. But what we've done is we're altering it to make it better, and that would involve on the first floor a pushback of a small addition, the dimensions of which are 9 feet by 14 feet, the width of the dining area, and adding 9 feet to the back, making it a reasonable dining area for family events. The second addition is on the second floor in the master suite, where there were, again, woefully small rooms for master bedroom, especially. The other bedrooms are also modest, I'll call them. But this one, we had to expand it to the right and to the front to make the bedroom, master bedroom and suite enlarged. It enlarged the rear bedroom and allowed us to produce a I call it a Jack and Jill bathroom, which has a double use so that it conflicts of usage. One person could be in the shower, and then the other person can close their door and continue to brush their teeth in the other section. It's a very efficient way to solve a morning problem. Other than that, the variances involved are in my opinion, de minimis. They don't affect any of the neighbors. The applicant was asked by me and the attorney to go to his neighbors, show them what he was doing. If they had any objections, he would explain it, but none of them decided to come. So I'm sure this could be granted without substantial detriment to the zone plan of the city of the township of Edison. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any questions?
Yes.
Mr. Stella.
The applicant said the boys' bedroom, you are saying master bedroom, extending the master bedroom.
I'm sorry, what did he say?
He asked if you're extending the master bedroom.
Yes, the bedroom and it's a master suite, I call it.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
And the bathroom also needs extending the bathroom also.
I'm sorry.
Are you extending the bathroom?
Yes, the bathroom is being extended and closet being extended, and he's adding a new office, a modest office of 8 by 10, where a lot of people work at home now. It's becoming, since the pandemic, it's become a popular thing to have an area for working at home.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dada. Anyone else on the board have any questions? No? Seeing none. Mr. Shar?
I have nothing further of Mr. Mileto.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
the applicant's case.
Thank you so much. I will now go out to the public. Anyone within 200 feet of the subject property wanting to be heard. If you are within 200 feet, you've received a notice via certified mail. Anyone within 200 feet want to be heard? Anyone outside 200 feet want to be heard? Seeing none.
Motion to close the public session. Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, seconded by Mr. Sadada. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Public portion is now closed, and I'll go to the board.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve this application. The applicant is requesting very minimal variances for the rear yard setback, the maximum building coverage, and maximum floor area ratio. This application will enhance the property values and is not detrimental to the neighborhood and the zoning plan or the township addition.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Mr. Barone,
Approved, yes.
Ms. Hernandez-Prince,
Approved.
Mr. Chabra,
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Cerrito,
Yes on the motion.
Mr. DeVay,
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Sadaha,
Yes to the motion.
Vice Chair O'Gorman,
Yes.
and Chairman Gamba.
Yes on the motion. Congratulations.
All right. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to you all. Do you need a transcript?
Yes.
You want a transcript for this one? I don't typically do a transcript on something like this.
Residential's, oh. Okay, then no, you're okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shire. Next case on the agenda, please.
Case number 2, Z16-2023, Ratan Nornolia at 3 Annette Drive, Section 37.63-1, 10 and 16. Applicant is seeking bulk and use variances to construct an addition to an existing single-family home. The following standards have not been met. Max lot coverage permitted is 15%, proposed is 16.7%. Max FAR permitted is 25%, proposed is 28.3%. Affected property is located in the RA zone, designated as Block 410.H, Lot Number 3, on the Edison Township Tax Map. All noticing paperwork is in order.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Fletcher. How are you?
Good.
If your client would just identify himself, please.
My name is Ratan Narnolia.
Ms. Shah.
Mr. Norlia, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And I also see with you a witness with you, Mr. Fletcher. Would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
And just both of you can state your full name for the record.
My full name Ratan Narnolia.
My full name is Paul J. Fletcher.
Mr. Fletcher, if you just give your qualifications.
Yes, I'm a licensed professional engineer and professional planner in the state of New Jersey. I've been the principal of Fletcher Engineering for approximately 30 years. I've testified in front of this board and numerous other Board of Adjustments and planning boards in Middlesex County, Union County, Monmouth County. I'm usually here on a biweekly basis.
And your licenses are in good standing?
They're still in good standing, yes.
Thank you so much. You may proceed.
Thank you.
Now, would the applicant be starting off, or are you going to, are you going to speak, or would you like to tell us what you'd like to do and why you'd like to do it, or would you like Mr. Fletcher to speak?
I
for
would
you?
like Mr. Fletcher to speak.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fletcher, you may proceed.
Thank you. Yes, the subject property, it's known as 3 Annette Drive in Edison. It is also Lot 3 in Block 410.07. It's located in the RA zone. The applicant proposes to construct an addition to the rear of the house to put a new second floor on. That involves obtaining 2 variances. One for maximum lot coverage by building, where 15% is allowed, 16.7% is proposed. Secondly, maximum floor area ratio, 25% is allowed in the RA zone. We're at 28.3%. I would point out that the lot is undersized. It's just slightly over 15,000 square feet. We're at a conforming 20,000 square foot lot. We would not be here. Building coverage would be at 12.6, and FAR would be at 21.4. So it's the factor that the lot is undersized that's causing these variances. The Narnolias, they've lived in this neighborhood since 2008. They purchased this particular house in 2014. They enjoy the neighborhood. They have friends here. They want to stay here. However, the home has proven to be too small. They have two children, two sons. They both work from home now since the pandemic. So part of the renovation is to show an office on the second floor and an office on the first floor. I think the lot coverage by building variance is a de minimis increase, 1.7%, not to be noticed. Would have no adverse effect to the neighborhood or the zone plan, in my opinion. The maximum floor area ratio, that's a D4 variance. We need to show that the relief can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and will not substantially impair the intent and purpose of the zone plan and zoning ordinance, and that certainly is my opinion. Some of the weighing that has to be done is, can the lot support a slightly larger FAR? And I would point out that we're complying with the side yard, rear yard, front yard setbacks, so we're not overpowering the lot. The home is, including garages, 4,200 square feet. That's certainly not giant by today's standards in the RA zone. So I believe that the variances can be granted, and the benefits will outweigh the detriments. To be a new home, I think aesthetically pleasing, should improve property values in the neighborhood. And again, I see no adverse effect to the zone plan or the master plan or the public good, and that is the case.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Narnolia or for Mr. Fletcher? All right, seeing none. Ms. Fletcher, that's your case?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. All right, we will now go out to the public. If there is anyone within 200 feet of the subject property wanting to be heard, if you're within 200 feet, you received a notice via certified mail. Seeing none, we'll go out to outside 200 feet of the property wanting to be heard. Seeing none.
Motion to close public session.
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chairman O'Gorman, seconded by Mr. Sadata. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Public portion is now closed. I'll go to the board.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve this application as the applicant is requesting very minimal variance regarding the maximum building coverage and maximum floor area ratio. The applicant is meeting all of the setbacks criteria, including the maximum height. This application will enhance the neighborhood and is not detrimental to the neighborhood or the zoning plan.
I second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown,
Yes on the motion.
Ms. Hernandez Prince,
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Chabra,
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Cerrito,
Yes on the motion.
Mr. DeVay,
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Sadaha,
Yes to the motion.
Vice Chair O'Gorman,
Yes.
and Chairman Kumba.
Yes on the motion. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right, so we will now go into closed session. If the secretary would just read the agenda for closed session.
Closed session, authorize Ms. Shaw to do legal brief on Daniels Law, discussion on case number Z7 2023 16 Phoenix Realty LLC, and discussion on case number Z21-2020 Main Street Solutions LLC.
Can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Closed session. Motion to close.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The board will go into closed session, and we will return once we're complete. Thank you. All right, thank you. Can I get a motion to return to public session?
Motion return to
Second.
public session.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We're now back in public session. I believe we've concluded all business that was on the agenda for this evening.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So prior to that, the board has considered in closed session authorization to authorize Ms. Shah to do a brief on Daniel's Law. Can I get a motion on that authorization?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Z7 2023, 16 Phoenix Realty LLC for payment to Bhavini Shah and Associates.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And finally, payment to Bhavini Shah and Associates for Z21 2020 Main Street Solutions LLC.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. What is your pleasure, ladies and gentlemen?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion to adjourn, made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Board stands adjourned. Thank you so much.